Okay, Studio Wait, I see what you're doing. Now that a new season's come by and Frieren's already past its halfway point, you release a new OP and ED and it looks all nice, fine, and dandy. Unless you take more than a 5-second look at the ED and realize that it's one of the most heartbreaking things that we can get in the series. You guys really are some sadistic bastards. Hi y'all, I'm Bayfond, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been keeping up with Frieren every week, week by week. I absolutely adore this series. It's so refreshing to see a fantasy anime that isn't an isekai, and one that's so calm and relaxing and not over the top at all that it really doesn't share any of the same sentiments that other anime do. Watching the series is like you're taking in a breath of fresh air, and I think the entire anime community pretty much feels the exact same way. I've never not seen this series be praised. And rightly so. This is one of those series that when it was first announced to get an anime, I was hyped as hell because I love the manga. I've been reading it since the really early days. And no, I'm not trying to flaunt the fact that I knew about this manga a while ago. In fact, that probably makes me just even more of a weeb. But it's just one of the few mangas that just absolutely grip you upon first watching. That first episode is so goddamn good that it just knows how to keep you entertained. And I'd say one of the big reasons this episode was so good was because we saw the conclusion to just the journey. A reunion with these characters that we really haven't been too acquainted with yet, and the passing away of a hero that's done so well that even though you don't know pretty much anything about these characters, you feel for them. Reading the manga for the first time, I nearly cried here, which leads me back to the newest ED. Because we're getting a glimpse, we're getting a taste of that same kind of tragedy that we felt in the first episode. And no, I'm not trying to say that this is something that you might go, oh, you might have missed this. This is something that you might have just forgotten about. It's secret, it's hidden in here. Not at all. If you have like a 4th grade level of media literacy, then you know exactly what's going on here. Because what this ED is showing us is Frieren after Fern's passing. A point that I hope is so far in the future that we're probably not gonna see it in the manga anytime soon. But it's being shown and brought to us pretty clear. So if you mind excusing me for a second, I'm gonna put on my mother's basement thinking cap on, and let's do a little run through with this ED.
And I'm alright, yeah, I hear you.
At first, you're gonna notice those familiar notes from Anytime, Anywhere by Millet. It's the same ending song as before, just a different part of it. And we see Frieren standing above a grave. And no, this isn't Himmel's grave and this isn't Flame's grave. We've seen both of those graves before and it's neither. And after standing here for a few seconds, Frieren lays down. Immediately, we cut to see Fern as a kid, the first time that Frieren would have seen her. And after another shot of Frieren laying down, we see her earring fall onto what looks to be a casket with an emblem on top. And that transforms into Fern's brooch. And as the music is reaching this really beautiful point, the butterfly is free and it just goes off. And the butterfly just goes flying away. And then we cut back to Frieren as she's on some kind of journey, a walk as she's going by. And then Frieren, at the end of this journey, sees the butterfly and it turns into an angel. And then back into a girl. And the last shot of this entire ED is Frieren laying down in Fern's lap, in the exact same position, in the exact same place as that grave. And what the hell? I don't know why they chose to go with such a devastating route. I honestly wasn't really expecting to see something like this. I don't know if this is gonna be a clear projection of the future, if this is some kind of Attack on Titan style ED that's just spoiling the future for us, but that's just something that I really wasn't prepared for when I watched the episode. It's really impactful. With the music, it's all just really well done. But I really think that if the series is gonna go down this route, it really goes counter to what I really thought the ending of the series was gonna be like. Because my entire thought process while reading and watching this story has always been that at the end of everything, once Frieren's reached heaven, she'll decide to just stay there with her friends and with Himmel and her teacher, with everyone that she's known. But if you think about it for more than a few minutes, this also makes a lot of sense because the entire point of this entire backstory that we've seen, all the flashbacks, everything that Himmel said is pretty much to prepare her to just keep living and to live as long as she possibly can. Even if she just decided to stay there, they probably wouldn't let her. And this is the harsh, cold reality of what we're seeing here. I actually think that this is so thematically important that they include in the story that they just really can't skip over it. It would really hammer home the notion of how Frieren is just very long-lived. Because now, instead of seeing it in passing as we've seen so many times before, we're gonna see it gradually, and we're seeing it every single episode as one of our characters finally meets their end. The thematic and also very literal final nail in the coffin. And we know exactly how it would go because she's gonna honor her existence, her memory, by living on. This is just one of those things that makes me just realize just how important EDs are to anime. I mean, way too often do people just skip over EDs because, well, they've seen it once. Or not only that they've already seen it once, but they want to skip it because, well, they don't really care about what's going on in it. But you're missing out on just so much stuff if you just skip it. This ED might mean so many different things in the future, or it might mean nothing, but the implication is still beautiful. And I would say that if we reach a point like this in the story, I will probably bawl my eyes out. It's not gonna be a good day for me. I'm probably gonna end up in the same kind of mess that I was when I finished watching Maquia, because goddamn, that knows how to emotionally destroy you. I just hope that at the very least we'll have maybe a few more seasons, maybe another 100 chapters of just nice, calm, good, fun story until we get to a part like this. Frieren, for a good couple of years now, has been a good comfort story for me. And I know that no matter what direction it takes, it's probably still gonna end up being one of my favorite series. And with that, I think that's all I wanted to talk about with this ED. Was this something that you figured out on your first watch like I did, or are you a monster that just skips through every ED that you can ever watch? Please, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I was Bayfond, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.